as Bohr was able to explain the structure of atom in a proper manner, so according to Bohr, the atomic structure consists of, it is somehow spherical atom, consists of nucleus, and nucleus contain the positively charged particle proton and no charged particle called neutron, which contribute towards mass but not charge. And outside the nucleus, shells are present, as we have already discussed in the Bohr model, and the shells are named K, L, M, N, such as, or you can write 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, and these shells contain electrons as it is postulated by the Bohr model, and these electrons are revolving in a definite orbits. So this is the Bohr model. Now the terms which we derive from this Bohr model is atomic number. Now the question comes in mind, what is this atomic number? Atomic number specifies the number of protons in an atom. The atomic number specifies number of protons in an atom. So it is represented by the symbol that is Z. The general symbol used to represent atomic number is Z, and the other thing which is used to denote the atom is mass number. Mass number is actually the sum of protons and neutrons present in nucleus, or we can say it is equal to the number of nucleons in nucleus. Nucleons are considered as a particles which are present in nucleus, and as we know, as Bohr already told us, that there are only proton and neutron in the nucleus. So either we can say it is sum of protons and neutrons, or we can say it is equal to the number of nucleons. It is abbreviated as A. So whenever we are representing any element, what we do, we represent the element with the symbol. Say I am taking an example of sodium. So as we know, the Latin name of sodium is natrium, and the symbol used for sodium is Na. So first of all, to represent an element, you need to write the symbol, and then you specify it with atomic number and mass number. Mass number is written as superscript. Superscript is a script which is written on the top, and subscript which is written at the bottom. So mass number acts as a superscript. It is written here and the atomic number is written here. As we know that mass number of sodium is 23, so it is represented as 23, and atomic number is 11. So this is how the sodium is represented. See, I am removing this A and Z because now you already know what does A and Z specify. So we can write sodium as Na, 23 and 11. Superscript as mass number, subscript as atomic number. You will be surprised to know that, as I have already told you, that atom is electrically neutral. That means number of proton is equal to number of electron. This we will be explaining with an example. Look carefully at the board so that you will be able to make the atomic model of different elements. So for example, I am taking an example of sodium. As I have told you, mass number is 23, atomic number is 11. So what information do we get from these atomic number and mass number? See, atomic number, as I have told you, written as subscript, it is 11. 11 means atomic number corresponds to number of proton. That means protons are 11, because atomic number is actually the number of protons present in atom. So atomic number 11, that means number of proton is 11. And we know atom is electrically neutral. Number of proton is always equal to number of electron. So that specify the electron is also 11 in it. And what information do you get from mass number now? Mass number is 23, as I have written here. Mass number is now equal to number of protons and number of neutrons. This I am rubbing it to make you know that how you can calculate the number of neutrons with it. See, mass number 23, proton means same atomic number, and neutron. So putting the values, atomic number is 11, neutron. So this is how you can calculate the number of neutrons. So number of neutron is 12 in it. So this is how the information that is conveyed by the atomic number and mass number, that you can get to know the number of protons, the number of neutrons and the number of electrons in a particle. And look at them, as the number of protons and number of electrons are equal, this specifies that atom is electrically neutral. Now the question comes in mind that how these electrons are arranged. As Bohr told us that according to Bohr, electrons are revolving around the nucleus in the definite orbit, shells, energy levels, whatever term you can use for it. I am repeating, energy level, orbit, shell, anything you can use, and they are designated by K, L, M and so on. First shell as K, second is as L, M, likewise. So the question is this: how electrons are arranged around the atom. So this information we get from electronic configuration. See, so what is electronic configuration? Electronic configuration is arrangement of electrons in different shells, or we can say the orbits as well, or energy levels, any term we can use it. Keep in mind, shell, orbit, energy level is one and the same thing. So how the electrons are arranged around an atom is given by electronic configuration. So like we take an example of sodium, again we are taking an example of sodium, then we will taking some other example, because as you are familiar with its atomic number, mass number and number of neutrons, so that is why I am taking the same example. So look at the board, atomic number is 11, so I told you proton 11, electron 11 and neutron 12, mass number 23. This you already know how it comes from. So how these electrons are arranged. So according to the electronic configurations show us that how the electrons are arranged in the definite orbit. So as we have done in Bohr-Bury rule, that is the Bohr model, Bohr gave the Bohr-Bury rule, that is 2n square. So what is this n? N indicate the number of shell, that whether it is first shell, whether it is second shell, third, or you can write K, L, M like this. So according to this, that first shell can accommodate, I am putting the n as 1, the first shell can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons, can be less but cannot be more than this. And the second shell similarly, putting n is equal to 2, it can accommodate 8. So this is how we can come to know that how many electrons, maximum electrons the orbits can accommodate. So by using this rule, we can arrange, we can show the electronic configuration of any atom. So now in case of sodium, I told you that electron is 11. So that means how you are going to arrange. First write as much as name of shells you want to, then we will be filling this shell. Now the electrons are 11. So again I am repeating, electrons are 11. How they will be arranged? See, this is the first shell. Okay, I told you that in first shell maximum of 2 electrons can be there. So out of 11 I am putting 2 in K. How many is left? 9. So we know second shell can accommodate maximum of 8 electrons. Right, we cannot fill more than 8, it can be less than 8 or 8 but cannot be more than 8. Now the total number of electron is now 10. How many electrons are left? 1. That will be putting in M. So this is the electronic configuration for the sodium. You have to put commas in between indicating that this is in K shell, this is in L shell and this is in M shell. So this is how you can write the electronic configuration of any atom. Again, I am taking one more example for your conveyance so that you should be well versed with the concept. See, I am taking an example of helium, say. Atomic number of helium, for this time I am writing the atomic number, but you have to remind these atomic numbers in mind. These atomic numbers won't be given, you have to recall them. And it should be, you should be well versed with the atomic numbers. No, but you will not get the atomic numbers. Mass number you may get, you may keep the idea of mass number, but atomic number you have to remind. Okay. So atomic number of helium is 2. So what will be the electronic configuration? Or let us take first the number of protons. How many protons? 2. How many electrons? We know it is equal to the number of protons. Again 2. How many neutrons? Its mass number is 4. So how many neutrons? 2. So that means proton 2, electron 2 and neutron 2. Now looking at the configuration, for electronic configuration we use only the electrons because it is actually the arrangement of electrons in the shell. So it has got only 2 electrons. So let us write the name of the shell starting with KLM, then we will fill it. See, then electrons are 2. So we know that the first shell can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons. So this 2. Now we are not left with any of the electron. So don't be panic, the electronic configuration is only 2. Don't think like that the atomic number in electronic configuration can't be same. It can be same because it is just the filling of the order according to the Bohr-Bury rule, right. So let us take another example. Suppose I am taking the example of potassium. Atomic number of potassium is 19, means proton 19, electron 19, its mass number is 39, right. Now if we want to write the electronic configuration, we will be considering only electron as I told you. So what will be the configuration? First write the shell name, then we will fill accordingly. The first shell, K shell, can accommodate how many electrons? 2. So we are filling 2, right. Now we are left with how many electrons? 17, but second shell can accommodate maximum of 8. We are writing 8, right. 10 electrons are already gone. We are just left with 9 electrons. So third, again maximum of 8. Now we are left with 1 electron. So this is this. So electronic configuration for potassium is 2881. So this is how you write the electronic configuration. Now if we wish to write the make the atomic model, like if somebody says, or according to the Bohr, I may say that if you want to make an atomic model for certain element, how you are going to do that? See, we are taking an example of lithium. I am taking different examples so that you should know, or you should be familiar with the atomic numbers, because if I will be taking the same example, you will be constricted only to the same one. So try to remember these atomic numbers in mind. These are very important. I am repeating again. See, so lithium is 3, atomic number is 3. So number of proton 3, number of electron 3, and number of neutron, its mass number is 9. Sorry, its mass number is 9. So how many neutrons it has got? 6, right. So now we will be making an atomic model for it. Before that we will write the electronic configuration. Now you know how to write K and L, right. Now we will making a model. See, first we will make the nucleus like this. How many protons? Yeah, 3. How many neutrons? 6. So this is the composition of the nucleus. Now we will be making the shell. First shell, you know what is the name? That is K. How many electrons? 2. So either you can write like this 2 electrons, or if you don't want to do that, you can also make the electrons like this, revolving. There should be certain distance between electrons, as we know similar charges repel each other. So just make a little distance between them. So like this. Now it has got the second shell also, make the other shell also, name it as L. How many electrons it contain? 1. So this is the atomic model for any element. So this is how you can make the atomic model for the different elements. And one more thing, you have to recall, I am repeating again and again, you have to recall or remember whatever you use, that you have to remember the atomic numbers. You should be well versed with the atomic numbers. You won't get those in exams, and these are very important to remember because they will be used in different tasks we will be doing. And if you are not well versed with the atomic number, you won't be able to calculate proton, neutron, electron configuration, and don't ever think about the atomic model as well, because the atomic number and mass number are more important, and atomic number is most important. So keep in mind. So I am listing few atomic numbers for you that you should be familiar with it. That is hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. They occur in the same way as they occur in order, the same they show the atomic number. That means if I have given the atomic number of boron 5, its atomic number is 5. You need to remember them in order, right? So at least keep in mind the 20 atomic numbers are most important. At least keep 20 atomic numbers in mind. The other one is, the next one is sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, and the 20th is calcium. Now at least you should remember 20 atomic numbers. These are the basic ones, don't forget them, keep in mind, try to recall them. See, now we will be writing the symbols used for them. Hydrogen, see, symbol is either taken as first letter or first two letters, or it is derived from the Latin name. So you need to remember those symbols, you can't build them, they are already specified by the IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So you need to remember them, you don't need to build yourself, right? So hydrogen is H, helium is He, lithium Li, beryllium Be, boron B, carbon C, nitrogen N, oxygen O, fluorine F, neon Ne, sodium Na, magnesium Mg, aluminium Al, silicon Si, phosphorus P, sulfur S, C chlorine, Ar argon, potassium K, and calcium Ca. As you can see the symbols, you have seen that maximum of the symbols are taken by first letter or two letters, but few symbols are exactly different from the name. For example, we take an example of, let's see sodium. It is S and SO, but Na doesn't come from anywhere. So you should know that its symbol is derived from its Latin name natrium. So these two letters are taken from this. Similarly, any more example you can see? Yeah, it is for the potassium. See, the K is nowhere. So it is taken from its Latin name kalium. K comes from this. So this is how you get to write the atomic numbers with the symbol. Now if we write the electronic configuration for them, I am writing the electronic configuration by looking at the atomic numbers. As we know, atomic number is 1, so proton is 1, electron is 1. So I am considering the atomic number as electron and I am writing the electronic configuration. So see, it is, to make it more colorful, I will write with the other pen so that it should be clear to you. 1, 2, these are the electronic configuration, okay. Lithium 2, 1, beryllium 2, 2, this is 2, 3, this is 2, 4, this is 2, 5, this is 2, 6, this is 2, 7, this is 2, 8. Don't forget to write the commas, okay. It will differentiate that which electron is in K shell and which is in L shell. Similarly for this, 281, 282, 283, 284, 285, 286, 287, you know now how I am writing it. I am just looking at the atomic number, considering that it is a number of proton, I know it is equal to number of electron, and I am just arranging according to the Bohr-Bury rule, that is 2n square that we did before. Similarly 288, 2881 and 2882. I hope you get this, how to write the electronic configuration. These are very important. You should know how these electrons are arranged. Now one more thing, the valence shell. Now what is the valence shell? The last shell of an atom is called as valence shell. See, this shell is this, you already know what are Kl, right? So we are just writing the valence shell. So in this case, the valence shell, the last shell is, it has only the first and the last shell as K. So valence shell is K. Similarly in this is L, this is L, 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 same L, because two shells are present and the last shell is always the L1. And it has got the 3 shells. So in all of the cases up to this, the valence shell is M. And in this case it is N. So valence shell indicate actually the last shell of an atom. It is very important. I am repeating, the valence shell is very important because it specifies the valency of an element. So you should know what is the number of proton, what is atomic number, mass number, proton, electron, how you can get neutron, how this thing you can write the electronic configuration, how you can make the atomic model, and how you can specify the valence shell. Now in the next topic we will be taking up the valency.